Good morning everyone. Today I will discuss water and its treatment. Water and its treatment. In the nature, water is the most wonderful, abundant, useful compound. Water is an essential compound for survival. Water is not only essential for the survival and also useful for domestic purpose, industrial purpose, agriculture, textile industry, washing, bathing, cooking. One can survive only for few days without food, but one cannot survive a few days without water. That is the importance of water. Next, sources of water. Sources of water. There are two types of sources. One is surface water, underground water. Surface water. There are four types of sources are there. One is rainwater, river water, sea water, lake water. Total four types of surface water. These are the four types. Next one, underground water. Underground water, a part of rainwater which reaches the surface of the earth is called as underground water. Underground water. Examples: spring water, spring and well water. Next, types of water. Types of water. There are two types of water. First one is hard water. Second one is soft water. Hard water and soft water. Hard water doesn't give lather with soap solution is called as hard water. Examples: sea, well water. Sea, well water. Soft water, which gives soap solution, which gives lather with soap solution is called as soft water. Example: distilled water and rainwater. Okay. Now these are the two types of water. Next one, hardness. Hardness. How to express the hardness? Hardness is expressed in terms of calcium carbonate equivalent weights. Calcium carbonate equivalent weights. Because the calcium carbonate is molecular weight is 100, so it is easy to calculate the hardness of water. Hard water is due to the presence of bicarbonates, chlorides, sulfates of calcium and magnesium. Hard water react with soap solution. Hard water react with soap solution. Soap is the higher fatty acid of potassium stearate or sodium stearate. Now, hard water Ca plus 2 and Mg plus 2. These both are present in hard water. React with soap. Soap formula C17H35 COONA RK gives rise to C17H35 COO taken twice Ca or Mg plus 2Na plus or 2K plus. Here, the hard water react with the soap to form a insoluble substance is called calcium stearate or magnesium stearate. This is the insoluble precipitate or scum or substance. And also to eliminate the Na plus ions and K plus ions. Types of hardness. Types of hardness. There are two types of hardness. One is temporary hardness of water and second one is permanent hardness of water. PHW, temporary hardness of water, permanent hardness of water. Temporary hardness of water, otherwise called as carbonate hardness. Permanent hardness of water, otherwise called as non-carbonate hardness. Okay, ma'am? Now, there are two types of hardness. One is temporary hardness and second one is permanent hardness of water. Temporary hardness of water can be classified into. Okay, now I'll discuss temporary hardness of water. THW. Temporary hardness of water is due to the presence of bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium. Bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium, MgHCO3 taken twice and CaHCO3 taken twice. These are the temporary hardness causing salts. Now, how to remove the temporary hardness of water? By boiling. Now, CaHCO3 taken twice on heating CaCO3 plus H2O plus CO2. Okay. Now, calcium bicarbonate is present in hard water. On heating, CaCO3, H2O plus CO2 is eliminated. Okay. Now, this is the removal of temporary hardness of water. Next, how to remove the permanent hardness of water? How to remove the permanent hardness of water? Permanent hardness of water can't removed by boiling. It can be removed by external treatments and internal treatments are there. Now, first of all, ion exchange method. Second one, lime soda. Third one, geolite process. Now, these are the three methods to remove the permanent hardness of water from hard water. Okay, this topic I will discuss later. Now, what are the units of hardness? Units of hardness. What are the units of hardness? First of all, ppm. ppm stands for parts per million. 1 ppm is equal to 1 mg per liter. 1 mg per liter in ppm in degree class 0.07 degree class, and 1 ppm or 1 mg per liter in degree French 0.1 degree French. Now these are the units of hardness. Okay. Next, how to remove the permanent hardness of water? Ionic exchange method. There are 3 methods are there. First of all, I will discuss ionic exchange method. Ionic exchange method. Now, here, the removal of ions and minerals from hard water is called as softened of water or deionized water. Now, first of all, in this method, 2 steps are there. One is step 1 and second one is step 2. Step 1 and step 2. Okay. Now, this is the ionic exchange method. How to remove the permanent hardness of water. Okay. Now, in step 1, it consists of cationic tank. The cationic tank filled with cationic bed. The cationic tank is filled with cationic bed. At the upper end of the cationic tank, having one resin, that is called as RH plus resin, is taken to the one beaker. The hard water is passed into the cationic bed. The hard water or raw water is passed into the cationic bed. If any hardness causing salts are there, like Ca plus 2 and Mg plus 2, salts are present in hard water. These are filtered in cationic bed. Now this water is passing to the anionic tank. Now here the cations are filtered in cationic bed. Now the water free from cations, that is the step 1. These water passing to the another anionic tank, an anionic bed. If any anions like Cl minus and SO4 minus 2 ions are present in hot water, these are also removed in anionic bed. Now the water free from cations from step 1, anions from step 2, and finally the deionized water is taken out. Deionized means D for elimination, ionized to remove the ions. Now what are the ions? Like cations and anions, and finally the deionized water is formed. This deionized water is useful in laboratories and industrial purpose. This deionized water is not useful for domestic purpose. Now this is the ion exchange method. In step 1, what are the equations? Step 1. In step 1, RH plus resin react with Ca plus 2 or Mg plus 2 ions. These are filtered in the cationic bed to form R2Ca or Mg plus 2H plus ions are formed. This is the step 1. In step 2, R dash OH minus plus Cl minus gives rise to 2R dash Cl plus 2OH minus. Now H plus from step 1 and OH minus from step 2. H plus 2H plus 2OH minus. Step 1 and step 2 gives rise to 2H2 is formed. Now, these water is called as deionized water. The removal of ions and minerals from hot water is called as deionized water. Now, this is the ion exchange method. Next, potable water. Potable water. Now, what is potable water? Potable water is nothing but drinking water. In the world, WHO, World Health Organization, to estimate that 6 billion people struggle for scarcity of good quality of water. The removal of hardness causing salts and the removal of pathogenic bacteria from water is called as potable water or drinking water. Now, what are the specifications of potable water? What are the specifications of potable water? Now, first of all, what are the specifications? Now, water, first of all, the water free from color, odor and taste. This is the first step. And second one is the water free from pathogenic bacteria like algae and fungi. Now the water free from dissolved gases like H2S, SO2, hydrogen, nitrogen, etc. And next, the water hardness must be below the 125 ppm. Below the 125 ppm. Below the 125 ppm, that water is suitable for drinking purpose. Now these are the specifications of potable water. Okay, ma? Next. What are the steps? These are the specifications. And what are the steps involved in municipal water supply? Treatment of potable water. Treatment of potable water. Now, in GHMC, Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, to supply the mineral water, or to supply the Manjira water or Krishna water. Now, how to purify or how to treat this hard water, converted into potable water. Now, first of all, sources of water. Sources of water. What are the sources? Next, screening. Next, irrigation. Next, filtration. Next, sedimentation. Next, sterilization. And finally, storage and supply. Okay, these are the treatment of municipal water. First of all, sources of water. What are the sources of water? Already you know very well about the sources of water, like river water, rain water, sea water, lake water. These are the sources of water. And next one, screening. What is screening? In screening, the water is passed into the large screens. The screens having large number of holes. The water is passed into the screens having large number of microspores or large number of pores or holes. If any lightweight particles are there, now what are the lightweight particles like leaves, paper pieces, wood pieces, bark pieces? These are the lightweight particles. If any lightweight particles are present in the water, these lightweight particles will flow easily on the large number of screens. Now this is called as screening. Now, what about the aeration? The aeration, it helps the exchange of gases. And next one, to remove some heavy metals like manganese, copper, iron, zinc. These are the aeration. Next one, what is filtration? Filtration classified into two types. One is rapid sand filtration and second one is slow sand filtration. Now, first of all, I will discuss slow sand filtration. The water is passed into the one tank. The tank having zeolite bed. The zeolite bed, it consists of 3 layers. One is coarse sand layer, another one is fine sand layer, another one is gravel layer. The water is passed into the zeolite bed. The zeolite bed is taken to the tank. Here, if any hardness causing salts are there, or if any impurities are present in the hard water, these are filtered in zeolite bed. For example, small stones or silica particles are there. These are filtered in fine sand layer. If any rough particles and large particles are there, these are filtered in coarse sand layer. If any large stones and gravel particles are there, these are filtered in gravel layer. And finally, the filter water is taken out at the bottom of the tank. Now this is called as slow sand filtration. Now what is rapid sand filtration? These both are same, but one small difference is there for slow sand filtration and rapid sand filtration. In slow sand filtration, the water is passed into the slowly on zeolite bed. In rapid sand filtration, the water is passed into the zeolite bed. At the same time, to inlet the compressed air. Compressed air means more air, huge amount of air is passed into the one direction. The raw water also passes into the one direction. Now here, if any particles are there, these are filtered in respective layers. Now this is the rapid sand filtration. Next one, sedimentation. Sedimentation, otherwise called as plain sedimentation. For example, you can take one tank, large tank. The water is stored in large tank for several hours, like 2 to 3 hours. If any small particles or if any lightweight particles like paper pieces, leaves, or any dirt particles are there, these will flow on surface of the water. If any large particles or big particles are present in the hard water, these are filtered in, like stones, silica, rocks, or gravel particles are there. These are settled on the bottom of the tank by gravitational force is called as plain sedimentation. Now, another one is sterilization. Now, what is sterilization? The water is heated at particular temperature. The water is heated at particular temperature or boiling. If any pathogenic bacteria like virus, bacteria, algae, fungi, these are present in hard water. These are killed by boiling, and finally sterilization process is completed. Now, and after that, storage and distribution. After all processes are completed, and what is the next step? Storage and distribution. Now, the water storage and supply through the underground pipelines or any like transport like tractors or any vehicles. Now, this is the treatment of water for municipal supply or potable water, and finally that water is suitable for drinking purpose. Okay. Next one, reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis. In reverse osmosis, it is also called as hyperconjugation. Reverse osmosis, otherwise called as hyperconjugation or hyperfiltration. Now, for example, what is osmosis? What is osmosis? The low concentration of the solvent molecules pass into the low concentration to the higher concentration through the semi-permeable membrane is called as osmosis. Now, what about reverse osmosis? The higher concentration of water, the higher concentration of solvent molecules transfer from higher to the lower concentration through the semi-permeable membrane is called as reverse osmosis. Now, this is a crystal. Now this is the semi-permeable membrane. This is the tank. Now this is semi-permeable membrane. Okay. Now this is seawater. Now this is pure water. Okay. Filtered. Okay. Now, this is the reverse osmosis. First of all, you can take one tank. The tank, which is separated by semi-permeable membrane, into two compartments or two chambers, one for seawater, another for pure water. Now, first of all, I will explain osmosis. Now, this is the semi-permeable membrane. After some time, the pure water is the low concentration and seawater is the high concentration, because of seawater is otherwise called as brackish water, is due to the presence of large amount of NaCl. Now, the pure water passes into the semi-permeable membrane through the seawater. means higher concentration is called as osmosis. Now what about reverse osmosis? You can use some pressure 10 to 25 kg per centimeter square pressure, 10 to 25 kg per centimeter square pressure you can apply with the help of piston. Now here the seawater ions are transferred from higher concentration to the lower concentration through the semipermeable membrane is called as reverse osmosis. And finally we have to take filtered water. Now this filtered water is used in domestic purpose. Now this is the reverse osmosis. Next, break point of chlorination. Break point of chlorination. Now what is chlorination? The reasonable quantity or the measurable quantity of chlorine gas is passed into the hard water. If any pathogenic bacteria is present in water, these are killed. This process is called as chlorination. Now what is break point of chlorination? I'll explain. A grams, B grams, C grams and D grams. Now, first of all, A grams of chlorine is added to the hard water. If any hardness causing salts are there, these are removed in A grams. Now that water is not suitable for drinking. Next, can you add B grams of water? If you add B grams of water, B grams of chlorine is added to the hard water to form chloro substances, to create chloro substances are formed. In B grams of chlorine is added to the water. And then C grams of chlorine is added to the hard water. Here, these chloro compounds react with the hard water. Here, the destruction of bacteria and virus, or to kill the bacteria and virus at C grams of chlorine. Now that water is suitable for drinking purpose. Now this C grams of chlorine is called as break point of chlorination. And finally, the remaining chlorine is there. That chlorine is called as D grams. It's called residual chlorine. Residual chlorine. This is the break point of chlorination. Next, boiler troubles. Boiler troubles. What are the boiler troubles? Boiler troubles are classified in 4 types: priming, foaming, caustic embrittlement, and fourth one, scale and sludge. There are 4 types of boiler troubles. One is priming, another one is foaming, caustic embrittlement, scale and sludge. Okay? Now I will discuss caustic embrittlement. I will discuss caustic embrittlement. Caustic embrittlement. It is one type of boiler trouble. The sodium carbonate or caustic soda present in hard water, Na2CO3, present in hard water, react with water to form 2NaOH plus CO2. Okay, now sodium carbonate react with water to form sodium hydroxide and CO2 gas is eliminated. Now this 2NaOH is present in boiler. These 2NaOH react with iron. The boilers are made of iron metal. 2NaOH plus Fe gives rise to Na2FeO2 plus H2. Now this sodium ferroate Na2FeO2 is called as rust or a minute air cracks. Minute air, HIR air. A minute air cracks are formed within the boiler is called as caustic embrittlement. Next, scale and sludge. Scale. Here, one simple definition is there for scale and sludge. The scale is the hard deposit. The scale is the hard deposit which sticking or adhering formed within the boiler is called as scale. Now, this is the boiler. Scale. Now this is the boiler. Boiler having two layers. One is outer layer, another one is inner layer. The hot water is taken in the boiler. The water is heated at certain temperature. After a long time, at the inner wall of the or inner surface of the boiler, a hard deposit or a strong deposit formed within the boiler is called as scale. Is called scale. Now what about sludge? Sludge now this is sludge. Sludge is a loose and slimy precipitate. The sludge is a loose and slimy precipitate formed within the boiler is called sludge. It can be removed by hand brushing and blow down process. Now this is the boiler. It is filled with hot water. The boiler is heated at certain temperature. After a long time, a loose deposit formed within the boiler or inner surface of the boiler is called as sludge. Okay, man. Now these are the boiler troubles. Okay. Now this is the total water and its treatment unit. Okay. Thank you for watching.